Was it a missile? A terrorist attack? Or was the devastating truth hiding in the wiring of an aging aircraft? July 17, 1996. A warm, humid summer evening off the coast of Long Island, New York. TWA Flight 800, a Boeing 747-100, taxis to the runway at JFK International Airport. 230 passengers and crew board, expecting a routine transatlantic journey to Paris, with a final destination of Rome. Families say their goodbyes. Vacation plans are made. It's just another summer night in 1996. At 8:31 p.m., the jumbo jet lifts into the dark sky. 12 minutes into the flight, the aircraft cruises at 13,000 feet over the Atlantic Ocean. Passengers settle in. The crew performs routine checks. Then, at 8:31 p.m., radar operators see something impossible. A massive fireball erupts in the night sky. The Boeing 747 simply vanishes in a blinding explosion. Debris rains down into the dark waters below. 230 lives gone in an instant. But here's where the story takes a terrifying turn. Within hours, witness accounts begin pouring in. Dozens of people on the ground report seeing the same thing. A bright streak of light rising from the surface, climbing toward the aircraft. Then, impact. Then, explosion. To these witnesses, there's only one explanation: a missile strike. Rumors spread like wildfire. Was this an act of terrorism? A military accident? The world watches in horror as speculation turns to fear. Imagine being on that beach that night, watching a plane explode in the sky, seeing that streak of light. Your mind races with possibilities, all of them terrifying. Now imagine being a family member, waiting at the airport, hearing the news, not knowing if your loved one is alive, hearing whispers of missiles and attacks. The grief is compounded by fear, by uncertainty, by the haunting question, was this murder? The National Transportation Safety Board launches one of the most expensive and exhaustive investigations in aviation history. Over 4 years, more than 500 investigators, 90% of the aircraft recovered from the ocean floor. They reconstruct the plane piece by piece in a hangar in Calverton, New York. It's like a massive, deadly jigsaw puzzle. But the missile theory won't die. The FBI runs a parallel criminal investigation. They interview hundreds of witnesses. They analyze radar data. They search for evidence of a missile attack. Here's what they find: no missile fragments, no explosive residue consistent with a warhead, no shrapnel patterns that would indicate an external explosion. The damage to the aircraft is consistent with an internal explosion. But what about the witnesses who saw the streak of light? Investigators re-interview them. They study the physics of the explosion, and they reach a controversial conclusion: the witnesses didn't see a missile. They saw the burning fuel trail after the explosion had already occurred. A trick of perception. A mind trying to make sense of chaos. After months of painstaking analysis, investigators focus on one specific area: the center wing fuel tank, located directly beneath the passenger cabin. Holding 50 tons of highly flammable jet fuel, they discover a critical flaw: wiring running alongside the fuel tank. Wiring that had deteriorated over 25 years of service. On that hot July night, the air conditioning packs worked overtime. Heat built up in the tank. Fuel vapors expanded. And somewhere in that aging wiring, a spark. Just one spark. That spark ignites the fuel-air mixture in the center tank. The explosion is catastrophic. It blows out the wings. It tears the aircraft apart at altitude. What witnesses saw as a missile was actually the plane itself breaking apart. The fiery debris falling, creating the illusion of something rising. No missile, no terrorism, no conspiracy, just a tragic chain of events. Aging wiring, flammable fuel tanks, and a design flaw that had existed for decades. The NTSB releases its final report in August 2000, 4 years after the crash. The official conclusion: accidental explosion caused by a short circuit. But the report does more than assign blame. It changes aviation forever. New regulations require fuel tank inerting systems. Wiring inspection protocols are overhauled. Aging aircraft face stricter scrutiny. The 230 lives lost lead to changes that save countless others. For the families, closure is complicated. Some accept the findings. Others remain convinced a missile brought down the plane. Conspiracy theories persist to this day. The streak of light still debated, still questioned. The FBI closes its investigation in 2000. No evidence of criminal activity, no missile, just a mechanical failure. A preventable tragedy. The science is clear. The evidence is overwhelming. It wasn't a missile, but in the end, perhaps the real question isn't what brought down TWA Flight 800. It's how many other planes are flying with the same hidden danger.